Hello and welcome to another edition of Nutrition Bites. I'm your host Steve Graham, sitting today with a few dietetic interns, to talk about pre and probiotics. Thank you, Brittany Poro. We have Lauren Snow and Angelica Musa. So let's start us off. Just tell us a little bit about pre and probiotics and what are they used for?
Yeah, so with pre and probiotics, it's kind of important to understand what gut bacteria is first. So your gut has both good and bad bacteria. So that's why it's so important for you to have good bacterial health, because your gut does so many things for you. Your gut helps with the absorption of nutrients. It helps become a barrier to protect you against that harmful bacteria, and also helps break down carbohydrates, fiber, and vitamins, which also further helps you protect against bacterial overflow. So probiotics are your good bacteria. It's healthy living cultures that can live in your intestines that not only aid in digestion, but also help with the maintenance of your GI tract. Prebiotics are what your probiotics eat. So it's if you want to have a healthy GI tract and healthy probiotics, you're going to want to eat a lot of healthy prebiotics, which are non-digestible food particles.
Interesting. And now, so say I'm going through the supermarket.
Yeah.
In what foods can I find these pre and probiotics?
Yeah, so prebiotics is actually pretty easy. There's a lot of different foods you can try. So there's foods such as bananas, leeks, onions, garlic, asparagus, artichokes, and soybeans, and basically any whole wheat product. For probiotics, if you're really into dairy, there's yogurt, it's very popular. There's kefir, and then we have your aged cheeses, such as Parmesan. So when you're looking in the grocery store, as long as you look at your yogurts and you look for the live active cultures, you're pretty much good. If you're not so much a dairy person, we also have options of fermented soybeans, such as tempeh, which is similar to tofu, and sauerkraut.
That's a lot of options, but
yeah.
When planning your diet, should these be taken together, these pre and probiotics?
As Lauren stated, the prebiotics are the food for the probiotics. So enjoying some banana slices on top of your yogurt is a win-win because you're getting both of the sources. Although you don't necessarily need to eat them together for them to work. It's just important to incorporate some of these sources into your diet.
Sure. But are these essential? Do you have to take these?
In certain cases, such as recently taking antibiotics, there are proven benefits of incorporating pre and probiotics into your diet. Research shows that taking a probiotic actually reduces the chance of diarrhea that may be associated with taking antibiotics. In other cases, although, it's not necessarily needed to incorporate these to be healthy. The research is new, but it's predicted we're going to hear a lot more about it in the future.
Okay. And as mentioned earlier, probiotics can be found in yogurt. Are all flavors of yogurt and brands, are they a good source of probiotics?
Well, it's a good question because when you do really go in the yogurt aisle, it's pretty daunting. There's so many brands, there's so many types. The most important thing to look for is that they contain live active cultures, as Lauren said. You can find that sometimes they'll claim on the front of the package that it contains probiotics or live active cultures, but if it's not on the front, it's really important to look at the nutrition label on the back, and it will either say contains live and active cultures, or it will have a name of a bacteria on it, like lactobacillus or bifidobacteria. Then you'll know, and that's when it's important to choose. It's important to choose those in order to get the probiotics in your diet.
And to wrap this up, I'm sure I'm not alone when I say some of us skip the yogurt aisle and some of us skip the fruit aisle. Is there any supplements?
There are supplements out there. They're actually in so many different forms. You can get them in capsules, you can get them in powders, liquids, and you can add them to foods. The research shows that it's really eating whole foods that contain probiotics and prebiotics and eating supplements that really do the same thing for your gut health and your immunity. They both affect it positively. So choosing those supplements is a good idea. However, they do come at a cost, so that's why we do suggest the whole foods. They might be a little bit cheaper, but if you really want to get them in your diet, it really doesn't matter what type you choose.
Well, thank you very much to the three of you for joining us today and informing us a bit more on pre and probiotics. This has been another edition of Nutrition Bites.
This message brought to you by the LaSalle Nutrition Department.